You're listening to Gin and Chat with Lo and Nat. So pour yourself a chilled martini and sit down for a chat.
Cheers.
Cheers.
Welcome back to Gin and Chat
with Lo and Nat.
And happy almost Mother's Day
Yay,
to all the moms out there.
Not us.
Not yet. Someday.
Actually, the time this podcast comes out, I will officially be an auntie. My brother is having a baby, and I will be actually flying to Germany on Mother's Day.
Insane.
To go visit. So, little backstory.
Yay.
My brother lived in Germany for a bit. He ended up meeting the love of his life there. Shout out Clara. She's literally so gorgeous.
Yeah, she is.
She's like actually a model, like
Clara.
a real model. And she is having their baby, their first child, my parents' first grandkid, my first nephew. His name is going to be Zach Robert Crocker. So I will get to meet little baby Zach on May 12th is when I land in Germany. And
I love it.
I'm so excited.
And also because Lauren and I's lives run in parallel lines.
It's actually crazy.
My brother is also having a baby, but not until the end of August.
Yes.
Also a boy.
Yep.
I'm so excited.
They're going to be best friends.
So actually, by the time this podcast comes out, I will have just gone to their baby shower, I believe. Wow. So we're going to be aunties.
We're in our auntie era.
One step closer to moms. We'll get there someday.
Don't say that.
Gotta find a husband first.
Not yet. I need a little bit more time to prepare for that one.
Yeah.
I'm seeing Clara's bump and I'm like, I'm not there yet. I'm not there yet.
But I love that.
But I love that for her and I love that for my brother. And I've never seen him happier. And I just think he's going to be the best dad.
For sure.
And I'm so excited. And so happy Mother's Day to Clara, to my mom, to your mom.
All the moms.
To all the moms.
Yeah, I did.
Cheers to that.
Cheers to that.
We're drinking poppy today, by the way.
We said no alcohol for this episode. Mother's Day poppy felt appropriate.
Yes.
I'm drinking Doc Pop, which is like their Dr. Pepper.
And I'm drinking raspberry rose.
Slay. So, what I was going to say is my brother actually just painted their nursery. Yeah. And my brother's just one of those annoying people that's like randomly talented at everything without trying. Like he's not an artist. He works in AI.
Right.
Works on the computer. And he literally painted this nursery. Maybe we'll insert a pic.
Yeah.
It's like insanely good.
No, like I don't know how he did that. That looks like he's been an artist for his whole entire life.
Looks like he used a stencil. I'm pretty sure he freehanded that shit.
No way.
Insane. So fantastic. Good job, Max.
Yeah. Good job, Max.
So today for this Mother's Day episode, we want to get a little emotional, get a little deep, but we're going to talk about some women in our life that inspire us and tell some stories about our moms, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah. Where should we start?
Oh, gosh. I know what I want to say. I'm just emotional already before I even say it.
I know. It's okay.
Okay.
We'll get there.
We'll get there. I would say... Let's just dive right into it today.
We're diving in.
It's going to be a bit of an emotional one.
Yeah.
So I obviously have a very good relationship with my mom. Now, I think in high school it was a little rocky as a mother-daughter duo is when you're going through puberty. But we learned a lot from each other, and I wish I would have listened to her all along. She is literally one of the coolest people, and I admire her so much, and like always, but especially since I've gotten older, I've been able to really appreciate all that she's done for me. And I feel like that's just kind of a tale as old as time. Like when you're young and dumb, you like don't see so much of it and
don't appreciate it.
Yeah, you grow into like actually learning how the world works and you understand your parents a lot more.
You also see them as humans, I think. When you're young, you just think they're like these perfect beings and they're just your parents and they can do no wrong. And then you grow up and you're like, oh my God, you're human too.
That's what my senior college essay was about, actually.
Yeah. Okay.
Of course. Yeah, it was like...
What'd you call it?
I don't remember, actually, but I'm sure it was good. I don't even know how the idea came to my brain, but
that's so funny.
I remember a moment when I was like 12 where I was like, oh, my parents are just people. And that's what I wrote about. But you have more empathy for that, I think, when you get older, you know? So, I mean, of course, I want to talk about my mom, but I also really want to talk about my mom's mom, like grandma, my mama Nina.
Love Nina.
And Natalie knew her well. And yeah,
I was honored to know her.
I can't even talk about it.
I know. I'm like tearing up already. Shoot.
But I just want to tell her story because I think it's an important one. She was hands down the strongest woman I've ever known. Like,
she was a badass.
You're literally
I'm sorry,
tearing
I'm
up.
already crying. I'm so sorry.
She was literally great. Well, I wore my glasses today.
I thought it was gonna be Lauren, but it's actually gonna be me crying.
I love you for that. Anyway, she was a badass. She born and raised in Nicaragua, Central America.
So cool.
Women, did not go to college. They did not have a voice, especially there. And when she was 12 years old, she got into a really bad car accident with her mother, and her mother ended up passing away in that car accident. So at 12 years old, she came out of a coma and found out her mother passed. Like, could you imagine the trauma at that age? And she was then raised by nuns because she didn't have a mother. And at 18, she really wanted to go to college. And her dad was like, no, you're not going to college, which we take for granted, right?
Yeah, totally.
Like, we both are college educated and as women, and like, that's not something that she had the ability to do.
It wasn't even a question for us. Our parents were like, you're going.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So then she ended up marrying my grandpa, basically just to get out of Nicaragua because he really wanted to go to America. So then they immigrated over to the U.S. She was like 19 years old, you guys.
That's
like,
crazy.
How crazy is that? And then she ended up having my uncle and my mom in L.A. So my mom was actually born in Compton, which is really... Then she grew up in like East L.A. area. And I mean, she didn't know a lick of English. That's the phrase. Yeah. She didn't know a lick of English. She had 2 kids as an immigrant. My grandpa, bless his soul, he was a happy drunk, but he was still a drunk. So she had an alcoholic husband. And I'm like, imagine going through that at like 20, 21 years old. We even found like old letters that she would write to her dad, like describing like what her situation was like and like how strong she had to be in that situation. Yeah. And I'm just like, oh, I can't even imagine. So fast forward, her and my grandpa ended up getting a divorce. So now she is a single mom, just learning English as an immigrant with 2 kids.
Crazy.
She ended up going to beautician school and she got her beauty license to do hair and nails. She opened up like a little shop. She worked 7 days a week. And it's okay. I can't even imagine now that we're 27, like she was doing that with 2 kids.
Times were so different.
Yeah.
Like back then.
Yeah.
Like, I don't even think that would be possible in today's life.
I don't know what I'm saying. Oh no, totally. But like the fact that she had to get her courage up, get to work, and go in like survival mode for so many years, and then still raise like two kids, really amazing kids, with really good values, and still be like the center for a lot of our family. Was like that story. I think when I feel like I'm going through hard times, I remember her strength and her faith. Yeah, I always told her like, you're someone who showed me how to work hard and like how to have faith. And she was very like, Catholic Hispanic, and she would go to church every Sunday, and I would tell her like, oh my God, I just realized you can see my sweatpants, you guys.
Exposed.
I'm literally like,
they know our secrets.
Am I wearing sweatpants underneath here? Yeah.
Listen, we're just real girls trying to be comfortable.
Anyway, Mama Nena.
Party on the top.
Party on the top. No, business on the top.
Business on the top.
Party on the bottom. And that's balance, baby. Let me cross my legs now.
Let me look like a lady.
Let me look like a lady. Anyway, Mama Nena, her faith. Back to faith. Still, she would always tell me, it doesn't matter what you believe in, you just need to have faith. It doesn't matter if you're super Catholic or super Christian or super Jewish, whatever, but you just need to have faith in a higher power and a higher being. And that's how I live my life. And that's what I'm the most connected to. And when she passed away, it was really, really unexpected.
Yeah, it was.
I was at a Clippers appearance that morning, and I got a call from my dad that was like, can you come watch Ranger? Because we have to take Mama Nena to the hospital. And then literally got a call 20 minutes later and was like, actually, you need to come to the hospital right now. Like, I was not expecting it. But funny enough, it was on to 22.
That's
so I was
crazy.
like, I remember telling my mom, like, if she passes away today, like, it's an angel day. Like, angels are gonna come take her. She is kind of meant to be going today.
Yeah.
And there was like some peace in knowing that. And our whole entire family was able to get to the hospital in time. We were all there in the room with her.
Yeah.
And that's actually the first time I've seen someone like pass away, like truly pass away, like holding her hand.
Yeah, I've never seen that.
When she goes. And I can't explain it, but like you literally could see her eyes like open up wider, like she was like going to light.
Yeah.
And then she just was gone. And that's the moment where me and my whole entire family were like, that was God.
Yeah.
Like, that was God. So I know, like, maybe you're listening to this podcast and that might not be your belief system, and that's okay. But I also know the feeling I had and what I saw that day and what I feel connected to in my life. And that's my truth.
Yeah.
So
cool.
I think that I feel like I miss her so much. And Mother's Day for me is always a little bit difficult without her. But I think she had to go in a weird way to give like me and my mom and my family strength, because now I feel like she's with me all the time and I can pull that strength from her because I know that she is here. And I would not be, I don't think, nor would my mom be the woman that we are today without her influence and courage and work ethic. And I just know that she would be like so proud. And I know that everybody has maybe that person that they think of that has influenced their life that way, you know?
Totally.
So
and I think something cool too is like, I feel like Mama Nana like blessed our friendship and was the reason that I cry. That's getting tough. Is the reason that we have the connection that we have, because this episode's gonna be a mess.
people are like, I thought they were just gonna laugh and joke
I know.
today.
We're like, jokes on
like
you.
sobbing.
We're gonna sob. No, but after Mama Nina passed, I'm actually the one that drove Lauren home.
Yeah, so I had this is so crazy, but I had a rehearsal the next day at 9 a.m. She passed away at like 1 a.m. And no, because it was still 2 to 2. She passed away probably like 12:30, but I left the hospital around like 1:30. And I had a rehearsal the next morning, and I just remember being like, what more can I can't do anything. Like, I want to do this job. I got to go to this rehearsal. I had told the like choreographers and everything, and they knew what was up, and they were definitely like were patient with me, but I still went to work that day. But I couldn't drive home that night. So I called Natalie and I was like, can you please drive me home? I like don't even have the capacity to do that.
Yeah. And I was like, of course I will. Like, of course I'll drive you home. So I literally drove her all the way home. And then I remember I was sitting in the kitchen like with her extended family, who I didn't even really like, know.
It was like all my tias and
they're
tias.
all grieving, of course. And I'm just sitting there like, I feel terrible. Like, there's nothing I can really do to like help them or, you know, bring back this person. And I remember her dad came in the kitchen and he literally goes, Lauren needs you. And I was like, what do you mean? And he's like, Lauren wants to see you. I was like, okay, yeah. So I literally go in Mama Nana's old bedroom.
Yeah, because she also like, it's very common with Hispanic households too, like multi-generational households. So she was living with me and my family. I wasn't there at the time, but she was living.
And so I came in that room and like Lauren was literally like sobbing in my arms, and I will never forget that moment. And I think it bonded us for life.
Yeah, literally.
Yeah.
Just sobbing.
We love Mama Nana.
We do.
But, you know, I think death is the inevitable and everybody experiences it at some point in their lives. And I think it's important to talk about, and it's important to honor the people that have passed and move through life with them in your mind.
Yeah, I experienced not to talk about death this podcast, but I did experience loss and grief at a really young age. I had an aunt that was very close to, and she passed away when I was 12. It was very quick cancer diagnosis, and our cousins ended up living with us afterwards. And I remember like, I actually feel like I just processed those emotions as an adult. Yeah. Because at 12 years old, like you don't know any better. You don't know what to do. And you're like, okay, I guess I just go to school this next week. And that grief is something that is like part of the human experience, but also shows you how much you have loved someone. And that is, you have to like live in that love and know that that loss is because you loved so hard. And that is beautiful. And that's why we like sit here and remember Mama Nina and my Tia Cindy. And like, you know.
And there's no right or wrong way to grieve, and everybody's process looks so different, you know?
Yeah.
So just know that it's okay to grieve in whatever way that you need to.
And it's best to feel it.
Yeah,
because
feel.
It is part of being human, and it's something that we all go through, and it is inevitable in this lifetime.
Yeah.
And there's no reason why you should like keep those emotions inside when you know that this is a universal experience and you have people you can lean on. Like that's why I like had Natalie, and like I'm so grateful that I had you that day and onward from that experience. And it's important to find those people and keep them close.
Yeah. And I think also like for me personally, like it was so cool to like have a relationship with Mom and Nana and see a positive like grandmother relationship, because I personally like my mom's mom passed away when she was 22. So I actually never got to meet her. She died of breast cancer. And then my other grandmother passed away when I was younger, when I was a kid. So I don't really remember, you know, I called her Cody Grandma because she lived in Cody, Wyoming. But I only have one distinct memory of like going to that house when I was a kid. So unfortunately, actually, all of my grandparents have passed in my earlier life. So I never really got to have like a good, like, you know, people always say like, oh, my grandma, my grandpa, but like I never really had that growing up. So, but I do think that is also part of the reason I'm so close with my parents, and I'm super grateful that I have such a close relationship with them. But on a little bit of a lighter note,
we're done crying today.
We're done crying.
Okay.
I mean,
we should
no promises.
We should put like skip to whatever the time if you don't want to see us cry. So
trigger warning,
maybe
tears
we'll do that.
will be shed. But yeah, my mom Julie, I feel the same way as you. I used to rip her head off when I was a teenager. It was terrible. But I was like going through competitive dance, and my mom was there for every single competition. And it got to a point, like, I remember she used to do my makeup as a kid, and then she wasn't very good at it, but I love her. And then I was like 12, and I was like, I'm going to learn how to do this myself so that my mom doesn't have to do it. And then we got to a point where we learned that the best strategy was like for her to just not be with me while I'm getting ready.
Totally.
I was like, you wait
I've so been
outside.
Yep.
I'm going to get ready on my own. And then you can support me after.
A hot tip for like parents with kids who are in competitive dance, just like don't breathe around them when they're getting ready, because it's too much. It's literally
the stress is too much.
It's so true. I used to be so upset with my mom when she would like do my hair for it. I'd be like, you're pulling, and I'd start crying.
Totally.
I've been there.
But then I think like as I got older, I just learned, like, my mom and I became best friends. Like I think when I went to college was when it really started. Like I just missed her and I started calling her more. Now she gets mad at me at 27 years old when I don't call her for like a week at a time. She'd be like, why don't you ever call me anymore? Like, what are you up to? And I'm like, I'm just busy. I'm sorry. Mind you, I literally live like an hour away from them now. Which actually somebody asked in the Q&A, they were like, why the move to Arizona? And a huge reason for that is because my parents live there now. So I'm actually from Seattle, Washington area, but my parents moved to Arizona about 3 years ago. And for those of you that are close, you know, to your parents and have that kind of a relationship, it's really hard as your parents get older to be away from them. And it's always like a scary thought of mine that I'm like, I just want to be around. I want to be able to help. I want to be around. And I think my schedule and my lifestyle hasn't allowed for that lately. And I haven't lived in the same state as my parents since high school. So it's been a decade since I've lived close to them. And so I just kind of saw an opportunity, and I was like, you know what? I'm going to go live near them and be able to like spend time with them. And I have to say, it is so healing for me to like just random things. Like, for example, like Easter just happened, and it was like, I could literally be like, okay, I'm going to go spend Easter with my parents. I'm just going to take a quick drive and we're going to like have Easter dinner together. And like, that is so meaningful to me as someone who for years was constantly traveling, never around, didn't get to see my parents very often. So I think it's super important, and never be ashamed of, you know, making choices like that, because family is so important.
I think that time we take for granted a lot.
100%.
And especially as we're getting older, we forget that our parents are getting older.
Yep.
And then it kind of slaps you in the face one day and you're like, oh, I just want more time. And
Yes.
that's really the most precious part of life is our time together. So yeah, I support that decision. I mean, I literally can't even imagine. Even going to school, I was an hour and a half drive from my parents. Like that I've never, except for now, I guess, like going to Scottsdale, but like I've never had to make that leap where I'm like, oh, I can't just drive to go home to see my parents.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's crazy. I think also like going back to moms, you know, and you get older and you just really appreciate them more. And I'm starting to realize like, I didn't think I was that similar to my mom.
Oh my God. It's so funny because my brother and my dad always are like, yeah, you and mom are the same.
Yes.
And I'm like, no, we're not.
They say the same thing to me.
And now I'm like, oh my God, we are the same. We are the same.
Like we answer the phone the same, the mannerisms.
Yep.
Like you guys, the talking with the hands, I get that from my mom and I can't stop. Yeah. Like the podcasting is honestly kind of hard for me because I really just want to like be talking with my hands.
That is screaming. I know. I don't even know what it was. I left my phone like on the couch and my mom always does that. I'm like, how do you leave your phone just like on the couch right here when you go do stuff? And the other day she was like, your phone's on the couch. And I was like, oh my God, I'm turning into you.
Literally. Crazy.
But in high school, I was like, me and my mom had a complicated relationship in high school. And it was mainly me.
It was
I will say, I did not give her grace. I was really hard on her. Yeah. And now I look back and I'm like, oh my God, you were going through all that and raising teenage kids and had a daughter that would always talk back. Like, I'm sorry for that. Yeah. Like I've told her before, I'm like, I love you. Like you did a great job. Yeah. And I think that now I'm able to actually enjoy her as like a person. Yeah. And not pick on like flaws, I would say. Not that they're like big, but I was just in high school and going like immature, you know? Yeah. And I felt like maybe I didn't like, not to get like too deep with it, but like I felt like maybe I didn't like myself a lot in high school. And I would like take that energy out on my mom. Yeah. And
it's easy to. It's your mom.
Easy to.
She's there. Yeah.
Exactly. And now I see that. I see like why I had that pattern when I did do that in high school. And I just like, I'm grateful that she like, you know, loves unconditional love because for sure. Yeah. The snappiness was crazy.
Truly. And I also, you know, I just have to say like, we know how blessed we are to like have these relationships with our moms and like, we understand that like, that's not the case for everyone. And, you know, some people don't even have their moms around and like, we have so much sympathy for you and we extend our hearts and our love out to you. And we just wanted to talk about our moms today and honor any important women in your life, whether that's a mentor figure, a sister, anyone that it could be. But we just wanted to like take a second to honor those people because I think it's important to show them respect and, you know, they're the women that created us.
Yeah. Yeah. And we need to stick together.
Hell yeah.
That's for
sure. Okay. Well, real quick, we're going to end this with our little Q&A segment. I've got a couple more questions for us today. We hope you enjoyed this slightly more vulnerable episode.
We did cry. So
sorry for the tears. So the first question, I really like this question, is where do we see ourselves in 5 years?
Switching it up. Let's go.
Yeah.
Wow.
I know.
Well, in 5 years, we will be 32 years old, which I still feel like I look like I'm 21.
The 30s.
I think that at that stage, I probably going back to Mother's Day, like, I would love to be a mother then.
Love it. Me too.
Yeah. I think that is like the ultimate goal for me. I know how important it is to like raise a well-rounded, emotionally intelligent human for this world. And I'm excited to do that.
Oh, I love that.
Maybe at that point, I will either be pregnant or be planning a family or have a kid.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
It's so funny because I remember like when I was younger, my goals for the future and my specific thoughts used to be so specific down to the detail. I'd be like, I'm gonna have a boy and a girl at this age and I'm gonna be married at this age at this place. And now it's more of just like concepts. Like, well, when I'm 32, I hope that. Yeah. But I agree with you. I hope to be a mom or at least like planning for it or thinking about it.
Yep.
I hope to be married. I hope that in the next 5 years I find my lifelong partner.
Yes. And not settling. Not settling that lifelong partner. Yep.
Yep. I hope that I reconnect more with my faith. I think that's something that I pushed to the side for a long time, unintentionally, but I was just focused on life and my career and growing up. And I just kind of, didn't actively work on it often, but that's something that I'm starting to rediscover now. And I think it feels really good. So I kind of want to lean into that more and continue to work on my faith.
Yeah.
I hope career-wise, I hope that I own my own business in the next 5 years. I mean, we already own this one, but maybe another one. We'll see.
Yeah, I would love for like the podcast to just be really helping a lot of people.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, I hope we're still doing this in 5 years, and it's like maybe we'll have our own custom podcast studio, and it could be really cool.
Yeah.
Definitely merch by then.
Hell yeah, baby.
And yeah, I think also in 5 years, I just hope to be an even more confident, secure version of myself. Like, I think we're feeling that every year we get a little bit closer to that, but continuing to find that.
Yeah, I would say that as well.
And I hope I have a golden doodle.
Okay, I hope I have a corgi. That's my only differentiation between that is I want a corgi.
Perfect. So basically we see ourselves in the same place, but with different dogs. Literally. Amazing. Okay, our next question is, what's our in and our out for this year?
Ooh. Okay, we should do ins first.
Okay.
In for this year, not letting other people's opinion get to you.
Ooh, I like that. Okay. My in is like natural makeup. I'm such a like clean girl, aesthetic vibe.
Lash lifts.
Lash lifts.
Lash lifts and tints.
Okay, works.
Yes, that's what I'm going to say.
We love that.
Yep.
Versus like fake eyelashes.
Exactly.
We are in our natural era.
Yes. I would love like
beauty.
a natural tan.
Okay.
Also, I'm not really a tanner, but
yeah, a natural tan.
Okay,
just going natural.
In
we're doing more. Okay, work.
In being picky. Being picky and intentional about every aspect of your life. That means relationships,
love,
friendships, products you use. I don't know, your nighttime morning routine, intentionality.
There
we go.
Cottage cheese.
In cottage cheese, however, I do think cottage cheese needs a rebrand.
Okay.
Because I feel like it's starting to get that, but people are understanding how important cottage cheese is.
It's a movement.
It's a movement.
Well, it's funny because I used to hate cottage cheese, I watched my mom eat it, and I was like, that's disgusting. And now I learned that it's a high protein snack, so I can't get enough of it. But my new life hack, I don't know if you've ever tried this, what you have to do is blend the cottage cheese. Holy moly.
Oh, I hadn't tried that.
So you can literally put it in a blender with like protein powder, extra protein, or like you can make it into a sweet dessert. And what it does is it makes it more of like a cheesecake texture. So because a lot of people, the Good Culture one.
Well, the one that you put in the microwave after? No. Wrong. The one that you put in the oven?
Wrong. I've never
I've seen people
cottage cheese.
Crisp them and make them into like chips of some sort.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
You can do a lot with cottage cheese.
Wow.
So that's an in for this year.
How we got here, I have no idea.
I have no idea. Okay, what are our outs for this year?
Giving your number to random men that you don't want to give it to.
Period. Also out is I'm sorry, but low-waisted micro shorts. I
don't mind them.
Listen, I get it. It's for certain body types though, and personally, it does not work on my body type. I have a figure, I have hips. I cannot pull off low-waisted anything. So those are an out for me personally.
Low-waisted with a long shirt. So
okay,
not to show my stomach.
Yeah. Oh, out crop tops. I'm over it.
I'm over a crop top.
I'm over it.
Maybe it's because we're 27.
Yeah, like every time I put one on, I'm like, I hate it.
Yeah,
I hate it. I have to go for a full-length tank top or whatever nowadays.
Yes. Yep.
Okay. Anything else?
No.
Okay, work. We definitely have more, but we just can't think of them right now.
We'll put them on our Instagram. Our extended in and out list on the Instagram.
Ooh, okay. Okay, we'll give you a detailed list later on so you can have more.
But for now, we'll just rant about cottage cheese.
And literally, our last question, which we kind of already touched on the first half, was why the move to Arizona and when will Lauren join Nat there?
Oh, that was a question?
Yeah. So I already talked about why I moved there. It was to be closer to my family. I also just felt like disconnected from Los Angeles, and I felt like I needed a break from the industry. And I still obviously dance and I do jobs that connect to me, but I just felt like I needed some space and separation from it to give my mind clarity and really figure out where my life is headed and what direction I want to go. And I think sometimes it's hard to know that when you're in the middle of like all this action and craziness.
Totally.
So to me, Arizona just feels like my little slice of heaven. Like it's a very like peaceful oasis for me, and I live alone, and I just think it's healed me in a lot of ways. So I'm really happy that I made that choice. But when are you joining me, Lauren?
That's a great question. I did tour.
It's flexible.
I did tour a few apartments already. So I definitely know the areas of which I would like to move into. But I'm trying to avoid moving all of my stuff in the Arizona summer. So that's really it. Right now we're in May. So what I think I'm going to do, don't quote me or don't come at me if this doesn't happen, but I think I'm going to get an Airbnb in June so I can kind of like see what's up, see how I like living there alone. We can be together to work on stuff. We get a lot of things done when we're actually like in person together. So that will be nice. And then from there, I can start applying for apartments. I feel like it probably will be more like August, September time. Woo. So we'll see. Yay. I'm really going to shoot for September, mainly because the thought of driving a U-Haul to Scottsdale and unloading it in that heat,
it's going to be horrible.
Doesn't feel like something I want to do.
No.
But an Airbnb for a month, I can definitely do. So that's probably what we'll do. We'll see.
Arizona girls, let's go.
I'm going to be tan all the time.
We love that.
Or have a sun rash. We'll see.
One of the two. And that's a wrap. Happy Mother's Day.
Happy Mother's Day. Love you all. Sending love to everybody on this day.
Cheers from Gin&Chat.
Flo and Nat.
Woo! Thanks for joining us today. We hope you had a great chat. Lo and Nat can't wait to have you back.